So I'm going to show exactly how I'm working with this horse. She's a little bit stiff in the back, and the hind, it's like the top line is a little bit locked, and the energy is not flowing well across the top line. She's a little bit stuck in the hind legs and in the back. So the owner also describes her as a horse that suddenly kind of freaks out. It's a little bit random, and if she spooks, she will just kind of lock her body, get very stiff, and it's very hard to control her. So I'm going to be working on softening her up and teaching her to bend and be a little bit more flexible and bendable throughout her body. And there is a really annoying fly. So if I'm shaking my head, that's just to get the fly out of the way. So the first thing I will do with her is to let her stretch down. And I would recommend with this horse to ride every other day, not every day. So one day work from the ground and the next day ride. And I'm going to show the exercises that I'm working with. So now she's been walking around, stretching down. And if she takes the head up, she kind of needs to go down again. And if she can do like a circle, she's done a few circles now, with stretching down, searching down, I will reward. So, because I'm filming today, I'm going to be showing how I work from the ground and then from horseback later. So this is the groundwork I would recommend doing with this horse. And now she's done the stretching a little bit to the left. Then we're going to go ahead and do it to the right as well. And when she has practiced more and more with this, and she really knows what she needs to do, you can ask her to stretch for a longer period of time. But right now, it's quite early in the learning process of these exercises. So I don't want to ask her for way too long before I reward. So she's getting really good at this stretching. And you can tell, like, when she's in a walk, she's walking quite good. It's not too bad in a walk. Bra, flink. So I'm watching her hind leg movement when she is moving. And when she is just walking, she's able to stretch her legs quite normally. And she's walking quite good. So we're going to go ahead and do the other side again. And she can stretch a little bit more on this side. So I'm paying attention to her hoofs and where she is stepping. And you can tell, like, when she's walking, she's moving the hind legs quite good forward. So she's stepping ahead of where her front legs has stepped. So that's good. She's kind of moving, stretching her hind legs pretty good in a walk. And she has like a good flow. She's moving well. So as long as she's walking, she's quite comfortable. Bra! Flink! So after she has walked and stretched a little bit, I will just stop and reward. I'm not going to ask her to walk too long before I reward her. And she's also kind of a little bit of a pushy type of horse, like she's kind of nagging me to get treats. So I'm also in between trying to teach her some patience, like just moving back a little bit and just wait and don't do anything. Just chill, just stand there. Good. And then we'll do the other way again. And again, I'm watching her hind legs. And they are stepping ahead of where the front legs have stepped. So you can kind of see the marks in the sand of where her front legs are stepping. And then I can tell her hind legs are stepping in front of that mark. That's really good. Moving really well. And she's really understanding this searching down concept now. And the great thing about teaching the horse to stretch down, it's great to softening up the top line and stretching the muscles, getting the horse more flexible, bendable, and soft. But it will also help them relax and keep a focused mind. Bra! So this is going to help her to get less stiff. And it will also help her to not get so spooky. And if she does spook, it's going to be easier to control her when she knows how to do these things. Good. And then if she starts nagging me and going into my pockets to get more treats, I'm just going to back her up and ask her to wait. Good. All right, so now we have done the stretching. Now I'm going to go ahead and ask her for a little bit of a bending as well. So I'm first going to ask her to walk out, move out on the circle, waiting for her to stretch down a little bit. And then I'm going to slowly move towards her belly, shortening the rope, and see if she can walk and bend her neck as well. And what's important when you're practicing this is to pay attention to the shoulder. You want the shoulder to kind of continue on the circle, and the neck to bend in. So be aware of the shoulder not stepping in too much. She's getting a really good hang of this. And sometimes she's going to bend too much to kind of ask me for treats. So I'm not going to reward her when she's doing that. Pretty good. Bra. So right now I'm asking her for a little bit of a bend, but more of a, like she's stretching down and bending at the same time. Good. And because she's a little bit stiff, I don't want to make it way too hard. But when she gets a little bit more soft throughout her body, you can ask her to bend a little bit more to be able to stretch a little bit more. Good. Now the other way. Good. And I'm just asking her to continue moving in towards her belly, shortening the rope. Paying attention to her shoulder and making sure the shoulder is continuing on the circle and the neck is bending. And if I feel like she's slowing down or about to kind of stop the exercise, I will come in and make a little bit of this sound to kind of help her understand that she needs to continue. Good. And then if she gets a little bit too much here, we're going to ask her to step back. Good. So I will do it like one time in a walk each side, and then we're going to go ahead and try in a trot. And now we're first going to start with the stretching. And you can tell I'm doing each other side. So each time I'm done with one side, I'm changing directions. And I'm going to ask her to walk first. And then she's going to trot. And now you can tell in the trot, the hind legs are a little bit bumpy, you know? It's like they're not taking too much of the weight. So most of her weight is on the shoulders. And the hind legs are kind of going out and back a little bit. She's not really supporting her weight with the hind. So I'm hoping that this stretching will help her be a little bit more soft and loose in her body, and that she will be able to support her body a little bit more with the hind legs when she feels less stiff. So for now, I'm just gonna have her stretch. And when I feel like she's doing a good job, there, her head came up, then I'm gonna wait and remind her to keep on stretching. Focus here. Good. And I wanna see if we can pass the gate now without her putting her head up. There we go. Bra, flink. Good. And I'll give her the treats. Good. And now she needs to wait and not start to nag me about more. Good. Good. Very good. And then when she has finished the treats, we are gonna go ahead on the right side. And another thing that's really good with this stretching and kind of teaching her that she needs to take initiative to do the exercise is that it gives her a job to do. Instead of running around not knowing, like getting a little bit worried, she has a mission now. Her mission is to stretch down. If she wants treats, it's what she needs to do. And I'm not really asking her, I've just been teaching her and encouraging her to do this on her own. So I'm just lunging her, and she needs to take the responsibility and do this. And we will continue until she can do a circle without moving her head up. And here she gets the head up a little bit. No. I'm just going to reward her. Good. And now I felt like she got a little bit distracted. And you don't want to ask her for too long without giving the treats, because you want to keep encouraging her to search down. So if you feel like she's a little bit distracted, like she's thinking about moving her head up, just reward her when she's searching down. And I think now we're going to have some rain. It's blowing, it's windy, it's a little bit of a stormy weather. So that may affect her a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the left. And we'll start with walking and stretching. And then I'm going to ask her to trot. And we'll start with the stretch, just letting her stretch a little bit. And then I'm going to do the bending exercise as well in a trot. So I'm going to fish in my rope, move towards her belly. And when she's trotting, she finds this really hard. So I'm not going to ask her to bend way too much. But she needs to kind of practice the bending a little bit to get better and get softer. So you have to just kind of see what she's able to do. Like here, I feel she could do this on a little bit of a smaller circle. Bend a little bit more. Kind of practice this a little bit more. Good. And here is kind of where it's getting difficult. So as you're moving in on the circle, you can kind of feel where it's challenging. So in this circle, it's a lot smaller, it's more difficult. And she doesn't have to do this for too long, just a little bit. See if she can bend a little bit and trot at the same time. Good. I think she's getting a little bit better. In the beginning, this was really hard. She would try to walk all the time, But now she's kind of able to keep the trot and try. And she knows that she doesn't need to do it for that long. It's only a little bit. Yes. So you have to feel the horse and feel how much you can kind of ask her to bend. But you have to challenge her a little bit, because if she's hardly bending anything, it's not really going to help. So she needs to kind of practice stretching out those muscles a little bit. And then we're going to go back to a walk on this side. And she's stretching, that's really good. Ask for the trot. And I feel today that her right side is a little bit more alert, which is quite normal. The right side, the right brain, tend to be the more instinctual side of the horse. And the left side is the thinking side. So if she's a little bit more nervous today, maybe because of the stormy weather, it's normal that she will react a little bit more on the right. And I can also feel like she's trotting faster on this right side. Ah. There you go. And then I'm going to fish her in. Good. Moving towards the belly. And I'm gently asking her to continue. I don't want to ask her too rough, because I know this is challenging for her. So I'm just going to gently ask her if she can try again. She's running a little bit too fast here. It's going to be difficult for her. See if she can slow down a little bit without going into a walk. Try again. Good. You're going too fast. Good. Good. I feel like she's running away from me a little bit here. Good. 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 So instead, I feel like she's trying, but she's also kind of running away from the exercise, not giving me the complete focus here. I want to see if she can do it a little bit better before I release her. Huh? It's going too fast. She's not really doing the bend that well. I'm just continuing to walk a little bit. I would like her to lower her head. There you go. When the head is lower, she's going to be a lot more bendable throughout her body. There you go. Ah. There you go. And there she's licking and chewing again. That's good. So each time we finish a stretch or finish a bending, she usually licks and chews. So that's a good sign. Good. And also one thing I have been feeling with her, especially when I ride, is that she has like one gear, it's like one speed, which is kind of a working trot. It's not a slow trot, it's a little bit more of a working trot. And, I'm a big fan of jogging and trotting slow. And at least be able to change the speed within the trot. So we're going to work a little bit on that as well. And that is also nice to work on when you're doing this groundwork. Like when she's in the stretch, but don't. She can trot extended and have a little bit more speed. But when she's coming in to do the smaller circle and the bending, it's better if she can jog and relax and not feel like she's rushing. So when she's doing the smaller circle, you try to encourage her to trot slow. And not walk, but just relax, trot slow, search down, and bend. And then you can combine this with the riding. Good, and practice the same. But her top line isn't that strong, and not her back, she doesn't have way too much muscle, and she's also a little bit stiff. So I think it's better if she doesn't get ridden every day. Every other day is better, combining with the groundwork. So if this was just a groundwork day, I would continue to repeat this. After we finished now the bending in the trot, I would go to a different place in the arena and do the same routine. So if I were just a worker from the ground today, right now what we would do is move to that side and do the same. Start again. First do the stretching in a walk, both sides. Then do the bending in a walk, both sides. Then do the stretching in the trot, both ways. And then do the bending in the trot after. And when that is going well, go back. You can go back here and maybe repeat 3 times the routine. And you can also in between ask her for the carrot stretch. So she's pretty good at that. If you grab some treats, she's really able to stretch quite far. And you can do that on both sides. But the thing with this horse, she's quite flexible when she's standing still or when she's in a walk. She's really good. The problem with her is when she is trotting. That's where she gets a little bit more stuck. So that's why it's important to do the interval, the walk and then the trot, walk, trot. So you can take her back to something that's more easy for her, where she's more soft and more bendable and flexible. And then you go ahead and practice a little bit in the trot to kind of get her softer in the trot as well. So now we're going to go and do a little bit of the riding, and I'm going to show you what I would do and what I would work on with her. Yes, I know you want treats. You always want treats. Yes, I know. Okay, we'll go ahead to the mounting block, but it can be a little bit too much with her asking for treats. So I would be a little bit more assertive with this and not let her constantly nag for the treats. She needs to learn. Wait. And kind of have like a routine on when she's gonna get treats and when she's not getting treats. Next. Because it's constantly when I'm close to her or holding her in the halter. No. That. And here she's coming and asking for the treat. No. 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 So for her to kind of practice some patience and just waiting would be good. You can't bend that much when I'm gonna go up. And once I'm in the saddle, it's okay. I'll give her the treats, but she needs to wait for me to actually get up and in the saddle. Good. Good. Yes. Ah. And we can see if she can just wait and just not do anything. No. So once I ask her to kind of straighten her body, she is backing up. And then she's turning her head to ask me for treats. And I don't want her to do anything. I just want her to stand still. No. So if she can stand still and wait a little bit, I will give her treats. You can tell she's really trying to do everything to get treats. No. Bra. And this like constant nagging for the treats, it's also creating maybe a little bit stress, you know, because she's constantly moving, thinking. She's not able to just stand still and not do anything. So she needs to also practice patience and calming her mind. You know, you can tell she's turning all the time, constantly asking for the treats. No. Wait. Bra. And if I feel like she can have like maybe a moment of not doing anything, bra, I can give her treats. But you want a reward when she's in the right mindset. Not turning her head, not do anything. No. And even though she can't vocally speak, this is her nagging me. Give me treats, give me treats, give me treats, give me treats. You know? And it's not very polite. So she can learn to wait for someone to give her treats and not constantly make me or try to make me give her something. Good. No. So I get a little bit the feeling of her like she's a little bit like a kid, constantly nagging, talking all the time, not just relaxing. There you go. Bra. Nej. Just calm your mind. No. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and walk. Not give her any more treats right now. All right, so it's starting to rain, so she might, I don't know, I've never ridden her in here while it's raining before. So we'll see if she's kind of reacting to the sound of the rain. And there you go. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and ask her to stretch down. Okay. So I'm adding some pressure on the rein, and when she's stretching down, I will release. Good. Good. And in the corners, I'm gonna do circles. Good. And ask her to bend. And the shoulder is coming out, so we're gonna do this again. And these circles you want to do quite small, but now she really moved the shoulder out. There you go. I'm gonna block her a little bit with my outside leg this time. Good. Bend in, stretch down. Good. And again here, adding my inside leg, getting her to really bend. Good. Really good. And stretch down. Good. And on the long side, it's nice if she can just stretch down and move straight. So we're gonna do like a straight stretch with her just searching straight down, really smelling that ground and stretch out her entire top line. Really good. And then we're gonna do the small circle, bend around the inside leg, bend, 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 bend. Beautiful, really good. Oh. Oh, bra. When she's completed the entire way around, I'm gonna stop and give her some treats. Good. Good. And then you don't have to continue to ask me. You can just chill. No, no. Good. And just practicing in between standing still. No. Just don't do anything. No. So you can tell she gets a little bit upset when I'm not letting her nag. She's trying to back up, do something. Good. No. Ah. Good. We can continue. Good. And then we're gonna take the diagonal and do the other way. And all the time I'm asking her to search down and stretch down. And here she really wants to keep her head up. So then I'm on her with the rein until she lowers her head and searches down. There you go. Then I will release the rein. Good. Focus. And then we're coming around here, asking her to bend around the inside leg. And she's coming out of it with the shoulder. I'm going to do this one more time. So you don't want to feel like the shoulder is dragging her to the outside. You want to keep the shoulder on the circle. There you go, a lot better. Good, bravo. And search down. And you know, this bending will also help her maintain her focus. Keep her thoughts on me and not what's going on the outside. She needs to focus inwards and keep her attention here with us and the training and not worry about anything else. Good. I'm gonna stretch down. Really good. Up. And we're gonna do one more circle. She knows when I say good, you know. It's typically when she will get treats. Bend around the inside leg. Good. 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 Oh. Oh. And I'm always trying to stop without using the rein. I'm just going to use my seat, releasing the pressure from my body, and use the vocal cue to ask her to stop. Good. Really good. And now, remember, no nagging. Just wait. No. No. It's possible to not do anything. No. No. Wait. Good. There you go. Good job. Okay, no. All right, we're going to go ahead and work on something I call the spiral exercise, which is really good at working on the bending and the horse to focus and being able to change speed. So we're going to do a big circle around this mounting block to begin with. And while I'm on the big circle, I would like for the horse to stretch down and slightly bend a little bit to the inside because we're on a bent line. So whenever I'm moving on a circle, I would like to bend the horse as much as the circle that I'm on. So if I'm on a big circle, it would just be a little bit of a bend. If I'm on a small circle, it will be a lot more of a bend to kind of keep the horse's body at the same line as the circle I'm walking on. So as I'm coming in here now, I'm kind of shrinking in the circle. And as I'm shrinking in the circle, I'm also asking the horse to bend more. And the thing about moving around an object is that it's easier to teach the horse to bend, because then they can kind of understand that we're moving around something and we want their attention towards the object. So now when we're completely inside here on the small circle, I'm going to see if she can look in at this object as we're moving around. She's doing really great. The rein is completely loose. I don't really need to pull the rein for the bend to happen. She's pretty much doing it alone, so that's good. When she's doing well, I'm going to leg yield out of the circle. Good. And let her go back to stretch. Good job. Then we're going to change the hand. And when I can feel like once we're out on the big circle, she really wants to move her body straight. So it's a lot easier for her to stretch down when she's on a straight line. When she's on a bent line, it's a little bit more challenging. Good, focus. Good. And then we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing on the right hand. Good. Yeah. And then we're going to come around the big circle. Good. And we'll just start with the stretching. And then I'm kind of hinting that we're going to bend around the inside leg. So I'm adding my inside leg a little bit. And she wants to drag the shoulder out. So it's challenging for her. There you go. Bend. And she's really like trying to move the shoulder out. So I have to really add a little bit support with my outside leg as well to keep her from not moving out. And we're shrinking in the circle. No, and you can tell here she's moving out of the circle. Good. Asking her to bend. Good. Good. And she's moving out of the circle. There you go. So it's a little bit challenging for her. I can feel that. So we're gonna stay here. Try to move around this object without the shoulder moving out. She needs to stay on the small circle. There you go. Good. Stay on the small circle. And again, today I feel the right is a little bit less focused. She's a little bit more distracted here. Good. 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 And when I feel like she's doing it well without trying to move the shoulder out, I'm going to leg yield out to the bigger circle. Really good. Bra. And go back to letting her stretch. Really good. You want treat? Okay. You did a good job. Yes. You can have treats. It's okay. This time she asked, I think it was okay because we finished the exercise. And she's like, hey, didn't I do a good job? We finished the thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's true. It's true. It was time. Time for treats. And now you just have to wait. No. Good. Ah. And we'll go ahead. And yep. Ah, it's a bird. Okay, another thing that's great for loosening up the body is backing up. It's also good to kind of help them focus, concentrate, and build muscles in the hind and in the back. Especially if you can get the horse to back up with the head down and not get tense in the back while they're backing up. So if she has her head up, it's not going to do any good. We're going to back up with the head down. Whoa, whoa, ah. We're gonna stop here on the long side. I'm gonna try to keep her from moving the hind legs in. Good. See if she can back up straight. Yeah, I know. She really won't. There you go. Trying to keep her straight. No, 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 no. This hind in. Good. Good. There you go. And head down, head down. Bra. Good. Better. Yes, good. And it takes some practice to get this to work well and be kind of a benefit for the top line muscles. But once the horse is able to do this, like search down and back up with some energy in a straight line, it's really good for the top line and the hind. So we're going to practice this a few more times during the session. And now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of the trot. We're going to do the spiral exercise first and see if she's able. You know what? We're going to just start by trotting around a little bit first to do it a little bit easier for her. And I can kind of see how she is today. So we're going to do the same exercise we did in the beginning. We're going to trot around, stretch, and do smaller circles and bend. And now she gets a little bit stuck. Search down. Good. In the corners. And when we're stretching, she can have kind of an extended trot. When we're doing the smaller circle, I would see if she can do more of a jog, like really slow. But yeah, we will see how she is. So I'm going to ask her for the trot. Good. And she's extremely bouncy in the trot. There you go. And here we're going to do the smaller circle. And eventually when she's able to kind of do this really relaxed, like here I'm not feeling she's giving me any attention or bending. It's nice to sit down during these smaller circles. Sit down in the saddle, but with her she's very bumpy. There you go. Good. And you can really feel when you ride that the hind legs are not there. You know, it's why she has this super bumpy feeling. Good. And then we'll do the stretch. And then we'll do the bend. Bend around the inside leg, bend around the inside leg. And if she's not doing it that great, you can just do another circle. Good, stretch. Coming around, bend. And this bending is going to help her move the inside hind leg in under the body and take more weight. But because she's a little bit stiff and her hind legs are not really taking any weight, it's going to take her some time to be able to do this well. Good, 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 really good. Oh, I'm going to reward. Good job. You're a good horse. Yes. But I feel like she's understanding that this is kind of helping her and that it feels a little bit good to get softer and stretch and be a little bit more bendable, as long as you're not pushing it too far, you know. Keep it kind of within her limit and challenge it a little bit, but make it so she feels like she can master this. And then we're just going to go back to a little walk. Search down, focus. Good. And take a diagonal, and we're going to do a round on the other hand. And because the trot is a little bit strange, it's nice to do it in an interval. Like not trot for way too long, and then go back to a walk. In a walk, she's a lot more comfortable. Good. So it's all about helping her to be part of the team. You want her to work with you, and not against you. So we want to make it so she feels like, I can do this. It's not too challenging, you know? And maybe she will even offer up to do the exercises because she knows what she needs to do. It's the same routine, and she knows the mission, she knows the job. And if you can reward it in the good moments, she may start to offer it up. So now you can, especially the stretching, I don't really have to ask her that much for it, but the bending, I need to ask her a little bit here. There you go, really good. But she's getting quite soft on the rein, which is really nice. She's not pulling on the rein. She's being really soft. Good, bend around the inside leg. So I'm adding the inside leg first and then the rein later. Good, really good. So eventually the goal would be to just bend her with the leg, and you don't need to use the rein. But I'm riding with really long reins right now, which is why I need to take my hand all the way over here and here. The shoulder wanted to slide out a little bit, but she didn't. So she kind of stopped herself. That was good. And then we're going to go here again. And also, you know, when she's bending this much, she can't trot that fast. It's hard. So it will also help her to trot more slow. And when I'm coming on the long side, a little bit more. One more. Good. I'm just letting her go as fast as she would like. You can even ask her to trot a little bit faster. And this circle is getting way too big. It's really dragging out. We're going to do this again. So you don't want to feel like she's leg yielding out or moving the hind out or the shoulder out. There you go. She needs to keep the shoulder. Good. She's moving out. Good. Bend. Keep the shoulder. And then I'm just coming in to support a little bit with my outside leg. That's a lot better. Yeah. Oh, it's okay. That's good. She can get some treats. And then we're going to try the spiral exercise. Yes. Which is a little bit more challenging. Because then when she's doing the stretch, she's also on a circle, on a bent line, and she needs to keep the bend throughout the exercise. When we're moving around here, she gets moments of straightness, which is a lot easier. So we're just gonna start. I'm gonna walk her in on this big circle first. Really good. And I want to feel like she's walking exactly where I want her to walk and where I'm guiding her with my seat and with my legs. So try to picture in your mind exactly where you want the horse to move, and try to be a little bit assertive with this and don't let the horse move out. You want the horse to stay connected. Good. Ask her for a trot. Good. And as soon as we're in a trot, this shoulder starts to slide out. Good. So I'm working on shrinking in the circle. And you want to keep the bend to the inside as you're coming in on a smaller circle. And she's pulling out a little bit, so I have to hold her a little bit on the left rein, on the inside rein. And here we're coming in on the smaller circle, and she's going fast. Good. So I'm trying to relax. There we go. And she's really, I feel like she's kind of running away from the exercise a little bit. I want to see if she can put some more weight on that left hind. Good. Keep the shoulder, keep the shoulder, keep the shoulder. Good job. And move her out with leg yield. Keeping the bend, keeping the bend. Good. And as soon as we're out, I can really feel she needs to stretch straight. So I'm just going to let her go. Move out here. And just let her go straight a little bit and stretch down. Good. And just encouraging her for those longer strides when we're coming down the long side. Just letting her move as fast as she would like while keeping the stretch though. So we're going to take the diagonal here. Move in. Really good. She's really good at turning with the seat. That's like, she's really nice with that. Okay, coming in here on the big circle, and she's feeling like her body wants to move out. So it's like she's constantly trying to slide out of the circle. So you just have to keep the outside leg on her. Nope. And it's a little bit weird because when we are out here on the big circle, I don't want her to bend that much. But because she's sliding out, I need to kind of hold her with the inside rein, and then she's bending. And then I have to add the outside leg for her not to move her body out. But it's normal because it's hard for her to come in on this exercise and do the smaller circle. And it's very unsteady. You know, it's like when I'm trying to slide her in, she's speeding up and trying to slide out. So I feel like I don't have complete control over this. It's not very organized. She's all the time trying to slide out. So I'm gonna see now. Slow down, slow down, slow down, slow down. Slow down. Good. Bend, slow down. Slow down. Good. But not walk. No. Let's see if she can. I can take her up in a trot from this small circle. It's hard. I don't want to kind of ask her too straight because I know it's challenging for her body. But I need you to try. You're not going to get softer if you don't try. Letting her out on a little bit of a bigger circle. And then, good, good. Just try, just try. Good, 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 good. A little bit more stuck. There you go. She softened up a little bit. We can leg yield out. Good. And you can go and stretch on the straight line. Good. And sometimes when we're coming down the long side, I feel like she's looking to the outside. Like she's not keeping her body straight. She's kind of tilting her neck a little bit to the outside. So I'm trying to keep her straight when we're coming down. Oh, oh, good. And give her a break. Good, 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 good. Yes. So this is the spiral exercise. You know, it's a really great test to see if the horse is bendable and focused and able to shrink in and then slide out again while keeping the bend and being able to trot a little bit faster on the big circle and then slow down the trot as you come in on the smaller circle, and ideally be able to sit down and trot really relaxed a little bit around when the horse is really bent, and then let the horse slide out and trot faster again. But it's not that organized with her just yet, because she kind of keeps the same speed all the way. And she's not trotting slow enough for me to feel comfortable sitting down. So I'm doing it in a light seat for now. So she needs to practice this. But now also she's rushing because it's very hard, you know. She finds this really hard, so she's trying to do it fast. So she will be finished with it fast. But as she builds a little bit more strength and feels a little bit more confident with this exercise, she will also be able to slow down and relax a little bit more and feel more okay doing this. But this is not something you don't want to be running around in that small circle for way too long. It's too challenging and it's a lot of a bend. So you only want to be doing it a little bit. And then let her slide out. But you know, you want to let the horse slide out in the moment it's going a little bit good. And if it's really challenging, just take the horse down to a walk and at least do the exercise well, and then let the horse move out, and you can try again later in the trot. Okay, so another thing that we're going to be practicing is the leg yield. And it's the same here. She gets a little bit stuck with her hind legs, but leg yield and sideway movements in general are really good to help create softness in her body and also help the horse put more weight on the hind. So I'm going to see now if she can do a leg yield. Good, 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 good. Making sure her hind legs are coming. Bra! Not too bad. No, good. Good. And I have been riding her with spurs because I had the impression that she would be quite lazy. But I don't really think she needs spurs at this level she's at right now. But you can see, like, if she's... Today I'm not using spurs and I feel it's going really well without them. She's really responding and she's doing well. And unless, you know, spurs are great for helping the horse become a little bit more sensitive, so you can use very little pressure and be very gentle in the communication. So if you have a horse that's not bothering to move, it can be nice to use spurs to get them a little bit more aware and care a little bit more about the cue and take it a little bit more serious. But usually when I ride, I only use spurs when I'm starting to ride a little bit more advanced to kind of fine-tune the communication. But with her, I feel she's doing quite well without them, actually. We're going to try the other way. But you can tell, like, you can feel, if you feel like she's not moving the hind legs over, you can add the spurs to help her to move, but you can tell she's moving quite good. Good, bra, bra, oh. And you will get treats again. Good. I think for now the leg yield, I'm only going to be doing it in a walk, because if not I would have to do it in a light seat in a trot, and I prefer to be sitting down when I ask for the sideway movements in the trot. So I would just practice the leg yield in a walk for now, and when she's able to trot more slow, so you can comfortably sit down, I would try in the trot as well. And, you know, yeah, she needs to be relaxed, soft, bendable. It needs to be comfortable for both you and the horse. You just need to build a little bit more. Yeah, I feel we need some more harmony in this. I feel like she's doing a really good job. She's a really nice horse to work with. She's very willing to learn. She's very positive. And as long as she understands that you understand that she has this stiffness and that things can be hard, so she needs to walk quite a bit, she's really amazing to work with. And she just needs to build up some confidence and feel like she can manage to do these things. and learn that she can trot slow, trot relaxed, and stretch. But it's really clear that she's a lot more comfortable walking. So only short practice trotting a little bit at each time, not do it for too long. Really good, this circle. Yes, that was really good. We can do a little bit more. I don't think like her not wanting to trot, I don't think it's because she's stubborn. I think it's because it's really challenging and uncomfortable. So I'm not gonna force her, you know. I'm gonna ask her to continue and see, but I'm not gonna be too strict about it. If she can't, like if she needs to walk, it's fine. Good. And then we're gonna come back here. So here when she's going to a walk, I'm not gonna like kick her or be really strict. I'm just gonna see if I can keep the pressure on a little bit. And see if she can do it again. Good. I want her to feel like she has a say in this training. Like I do want her to challenge herself a little bit so she can feel better and get softer and more bendable. But I want her to know that I'm not going to push her if things get too challenging for her. Good. We're going to do the diagonal. And here she's kind of trotting a little bit faster. And it's really bumpy. No. Yeah, we can walk a little bit. She's really bumpy in the trot. I feel like I'm getting shot out of the saddle. Good. And she's like preferring not to continue trotting. We're just gonna do a little bit more and then it's fine. We also did the groundwork today, so I'm not gonna ride her for way too long. And that's another thing with horses that have like a more weak type of top line. Good, where they are a little bit, I feel this circle could be a little bit better. You're not really bending that much. Good. 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 Better. Yeah, when horses have like a weaker top line, you don't want to sit on them for way too long. Maybe 30 minutes is like more than enough for this horse. Good. 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 But the thing is, to get her to build muscle, you need her to engage the muscle. So if she's not using any energy, she's not gonna develop. So you have to be able to do the bending and the stretching with energy and have some variety to help her build the muscle. Good. That's why it's important to get a little bit of like an extended trot when she's stretching to activate those hind legs a little bit more. And in the bending, help her to relax and trot slow. Good. And feel like she can go fast and she can go slow. She can do both. So here I'm encouraging her to go a little bit more fast. Oh, really good. Let's see if we can back up. Good. Trying to keep her straight, head down. Get some energy. Good. Good. And ideally you want to stop good when she's straightening her body. Good job. Good job. Very good. So we're going to finish off with the spiral exercise in the walk, and that will be enough for her. Good. Really good. It's just exercises to help her become more loose and flexible and relaxed. And also when you have control of the neck, you will have control of the horse. So if you're having issue with the horse that's getting stiff and just kind of taking over the control, you need to work on the bending. And if the horse is really good at this, you can use this. You can always use this to pull the horse back to ground, so to speak. So if your horse is getting nervous, spooked, losing their focus, you can use these exercises to bring the horse back to focus, back to relaxation. And she's kind of bending a little bit too much, but it's because she is sliding out of the circle, and I'm using my outside leg and my inside rein to keep her on the circle. And then we're coming in here, and we're gonna really bend, get soft, and not move the shoulder out. So she's constantly moving that shoulder out. She needs to really practice being able to maintain the circle that we're currently on. Good? Good? Good. Stay with me. Stay with me. Good job. And then leg yield, adding my inside leg back to move the hind out, and let her go and stretch on the long side all the way around the arena. Really good. Really good. And I can feel it's getting enough for her. So we're just going to do the other way, and then she's done for today. You don't want to be doing this for way too long, you know? We want her to feel like she's successful. It was something she was able to manage, and not way too challenging. Because this is challenging for her, you know? The bending is difficult. In a walk it's not too bad, but in a trot it's hard. So we're just going to continue here around, maintaining the circle, and watch that shoulder. Don't let it slide out. And I'm trying to just keep a little bit of a bend when we are on the big circle. You know, I don't want her to bend a lot. I just want the expression slightly to the inside when we are on the bigger circle. And now we're shrinking in. And I'm going to try to keep this a little bit more organized here in the walk. We're shrinking in, and I'm constantly picturing in my mind exactly where I would like her to walk, and I want to feel like she's moving, following my lead, keeping attention to where I'm asking her to move. We're coming in on this small circle. Don't slide out of it. Stay in the circle, stay in the bend. Amazing. This is perfect. Really good. Leg yield out. Moving those hind legs out. Good. 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 Good job. Bra. Så flink du er da. Good. And that's enough. That's enough. I'm just going to do the carrot stretch. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Good job. Good. She's really good at this. Grab some treats, stretch, stretch, as long as you can go. Good. Oh no, you moved. Yeah, it was maybe too much. I have to do it again. Good. There you go. Good job. So yeah, that's it. That's it for this type of work. Or for her right now. And you have to see how she's doing this and when you can kind of advance all of this a little bit. But for now, this is really good for her. Help her find balance, getting more relaxed, getting soft, getting bendable. and focused. You know, being able to focus and concentrate, to relax her body, relax her mind. Yeah, you did a good job. No more treats. But she's a cute horse. She's very, very friendly, very, very friendly, and a very nice horse to work with. She just needs some guidance and some help to get more smooth. Yeah, good. And now let's see if you can back up a little bit and wait. Yes, good. And also remembering to practice these quiet times where she needs to wait and not do anything. Just stand still, chill, don't nag about the treats.